Alright. Want to bring us into this?
Absolutely. I'll start in the bottom left. We're following him throughout this bracket, maybe. Living in the root house, it's Miniraser.
Wait, is Hearthstone still in the chat? Or is he in the
He
lobby? I think he
he is
left, didn't he?
he was spectating,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, he's too late to join anyway. So
And in the top right, we have our green Terran player for Rival Gaming, Cuddlebear. Now, I gotta send a message to Volts.
so again, we're going to see one player going for significant one base aggression. So I think we're going to see Reaper come out any second now, and maybe even a second barracks. Yes, indeed. Cuddlebear is going early Reaper aggression. There's plenty of ramps on this map. Or sorry, not ramps, cliffs. That Reapers can abuse very, very well. All different kinds of routes he can take. I think this is a great map for the job. Three
I
racks
agree.
Reaper.
And I just love the 3 racks Reaper style in general.
Yeah, so... Oh, he's lifted the barracks. Interesting. Didn't place it quite right the first time. So the important thing is keep the Reapers alive. Especially that first one, you cannot afford to let that one die.
Yeah, and if you can use that to snowball a little.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what needs to happen. Miniraser's defense, it looks like it's going to be Speedlings more than likely. Speedlings and a couple of Queens, pretty standard.
Yeah, I mean we'll see what the response becomes when it's obvious that it is the multiple Reaper build, with 3 racks. That does change your game style a little bit, but you're generally going to do the same type of stuff, right? You're still going to try and defend with Lings and Queens. You don't really want to throw down an early road form against this.
Yeah, it's usually going to be too late. If the first Reaper's already knocking on your door and you haven't started one, you're probably not going to have a good time if you try and wait for them. Yeah. So the first Reaper's coming in is going to start to bruise the drones, but I don't think he's going to lose anything to the first one, and I think it's going to become clear pretty shortly what exactly he's going to be facing.
Yeah, when you see the extra 2 coming across the map, which it is now visible by that Overlord, things are very obvious. Be careful with this Queen. It does get knocked forward. The Reaper Grenade is such a cool ability. One, because you can use it to zombies. I love that play. But
yeah, this is...
You can also, push a Queen off screen really easily.
Absolutely. These Queens are both... about 20 seconds away from having a transfuse each, which is pretty good news, but the first one's already dropped. The second one's about to drop now. So this has already done a very decent start there for Cuddlebear.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, he's also min-maxing these roaches very, very well. I don't think he's lost a single one just yet. No, he has not.
Yeah, really superb Reaper control there. Using that grenade ability very frequently and very well. We're gonna have this wall ready as soon as it's needed. Seems at least to defend against the Lings as well. So this is just a well executed attack.
And you're just going to try and knock down the rocks, but that's going to take quite a while. So he does have a chance to see it, but I think with the number of Reapers he has, he needs to make something happen with them rather than have them sitting at home in defense. These Lings are going to try and knock on the door and see what they can do.
Yeah, and Reaper's not there at the moment to help with that defense, but the Lings won't be able to bust down there. The best after the best. Sorry, I got distracted. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it happens.
You just have to try and find volts. So I'm just gonna do some observing and let you talk about it.
Okay, so we have a pretty significant Reaper count. We're up to Baker's dozen, and a number of Lings and Queens in defense here. Pretty well positioned so far, I would say. These Reapers are going to have to find a way home, but actually they're all starting to drop at the moment. He's been brought down to just 5. So that it is really the end of the snowball effect on those Reapers. The tech is going pretty well for Miniraser. He's starting those double Evo chambers, and he has the lair about a quarter of the way done. Over on the Cuddlebear side, we see the factories are done, starport on the way, reactor, so possibly some Hellions coming out for Cuddlebear.
Yeah, looks like both players starting to transition out of their early games. Although I'd say that Miniraser does have a pretty good edge, considering he didn't really lose any drones yet. He lost some queens, he lost some wings, but the Reapers weren't able to really grab a big advantage and snowball anything.
Yeah, the queens were the main loss from that whole aggression. But Miniraser, he just sort of had the production of queens going non-stop. Because it's now, with the latest patch, you can just never have too many queens. They're just useful throughout the game.
Yeah.
They have such a great amount of range. They'll do just great against the Liberators if Cuddlebear's going to start to send them his way.
Or even just dropships. We've been seeing they just become a very, like, all-in-one unit for your early game defense.
Absolutely. So the rocks are finally going to be knocked down by Miniraser. The Lings now have an avenue of attack, but there's just an awful lot of Marines ready and waiting if he does get a bit too aggressive. The Reapers are going to be scouting out what welcome those Marines are going to have should they decide to push all the way across the map. Looks like they're going to do so, as we see. I think there are 2 Midivacs ready for this phase of aggression from Cuddlebear.
Yeah, I do like having the Medivacs out here. I mean, obviously it's got great synergy with the Marines, but the one like we said earlier, the one edge that Cuddlebear was able to get, still some good connections from them. But yeah, the one edge that Cuddlebear was really able to get was weakening that queen count, so Medivacs have a lot easier of a time just running around and getting some damage done.
Yeah, so we see a decent number of Marines have gotten up the ramp. He didn't really focus fire anything. He put a few dings on the Baneling nest, but it looks like every single Marine except for one is going to live to tell the tale. Still a decent number of Lings here at the top of the ramp to fend off the Marine aggression. And this one's going to be just snubbed out, I think, by Miniraser. Burrow starting for Miniraser as well, so we could see everybody's favorite thing, which is burrowed Banelings.
Oh yeah. My immediate thought was Shark Stack Roaches, but yeah, burrowed Banelings, one of the coolest things you can do in this game. We unfortunately don't get to see it enough, really, but it can be it's a pretty high skill count thing. You have to be very on top of your map awareness.
Yeah. What always surprised me when I played is just how low the splash radius is. We see that Medivac is dangerously low. The boost has just run out, and that's a lot of Marines gone down for free.
Yeah,
Supply count.
The chase with the wings meant that you can't just unload them either, so pretty rough.
So the situation is we get past 9 minutes, which I think is officially late mid game. Worker count is exactly even, and supply count might as well be. But we do see a 4th base for Miniraser. And Baneling's speed is just about halfway done. As we see, a number of units are going to be caught out in the middle. Now he does burrow that Widowmine just in time to scare away the Ling aggression there by Miniraser.
Yep, you were right though. We do have those burrowed Banelings coming up. We've got one trap set up. I believe just the one for now, but this could be
the scan! That's a wonderful scan there by Cuddlebear. Otherwise, that's a small number of Marines could have really been in some serious danger. As we see, those mutas probably wouldn't be well advised to jump on top of those heavily supported Medivacs, but we're going to see a good pincer movement there by Miniraser to catch out a lot of the supply. So that aggression achieved relatively little, I would say. I mean, there wasn't an awful lot lost there, apart from maybe just some Lings. The mute account is getting reasonably high. I think we have 8 at the moment, just kind of chilling, trying to catch out a loose dropship. So I think we missed some kind of aggression here on the 4th base of Miniraser. It's gone down very, very low, but it is just about still alive as we see another big push out of Marines. This is a second wave really for Cuddlebear. They're going to be caught out big time. Those two Liberators there to defend. Wow!
The landmine does go off. That is so much damage. Miniraser taking a big edge there.
Yeah, the Marine count gets shreked really, and I think a number of Widow Mines also brought down. One less thing to worry about, so at the moment we just have 13 Marines. All that's left at the moment for the player from rival Cuddlebear. He has to basically start all over again.
Yeah, and the real nice thing about Burrowed Banelings is you don't even need to do damage with them to force damage, right? Like, now every time Cuddlebear wants to do anything, he's going to be scanning. You know, you walk anywhere, you're going to burn a scan.
100%. And
Widow Mines, a lot of wing losses.
Yeah, that was a big kill. 12 kills on that Widow Mine already in one shot. So we see, wow, just a real nice scattering of Burrowed Banelings. He's really committing to this sweet tactic.
I do love it. And the thing I really like is he's not going for the obvious placement, right? Like it's not in the middle of the ramp, it's just slightly pushed back from it. It's in this, this mid-game area. And on top of the ramp is where, let's get a scan of it.
You just got a scan, but there's still 4 more to worry about at the very, very least.
Mm-hmm. And like, how many scans can you burn?
Oh, he's watching it, ready to go. 3-2. Oh, lovely. Dings those Marines pretty significantly. The army isn't really prepared though to knock those red Marines down before the Medivacs can heal them back up. So we see the aggression is now really moving deep onto creep. Decent connections with the first round of Banelings. And again, it's a solid defense by Miniraser. Liberator's going to be brought down pretty soon. And a number of Lings come out alive as well, so we can see again the opportunity is there for Miniraser to put some counter aggression on. There is no Widow Mine at the top of this ramp, so he can just charge straight up.
Yep. Those mutas are so low though. Gotta be really careful.
He's going to just go for it though, and he's got a couple of Banelings in there to support, so he can pretty safely charge on because those Banelings have to be target fired. A number of SCVs going down as well for Cuddlebear, and this is going from bad to worse for our Terran player. A lot of value being gotten from those mutas. Widow Mines being focused down just in time as well, so we won't see any big detonation on that ball of mutas, which is really still on a significant number. We're up to 17 now. 2 Liberators are going to be killed just as they pop out.
You get a decent amount of damage on the mutas, but the magic boxing was good, which meant that they don't really take too much splash. One of the most ambitious mules I've ever seen in my life.
Its life was short and unpleasant.
Alright, yeah, so this is looking very, very rough for Cuddlebear. I'm not quite sure what your comeback mechanic at this point is. Like, how do you plan on doing this?
It's got to be the best or worst Widow Mine of all time, I would say. But there isn't any available. The SCVs are just going to wander out into the middle of the map to survey the damage. Their fallen brethren, and that is game. GG.
GG. That was a very cool game. And, something I was thinking about halfway through, and I didn't want to, start us off on this very, anti in this moment discussion, when we're in the middle of the game, but I was just wondering, like, do we as viewers inherently love Burrowed Banelings, or was it sort of caused by that Scarlet Bomber game that's become like the most iconic game of StarCraft pretty much ever played?
Yeah, I think that has to be it, really. I mean, in a way, they're not so different from a Widow Mine. They're just a lot more difficult to use. But yeah, that comeback was just the coolest thing ever. I think, yeah, you're right. It does just really echo from that famous moment. Hey, it's the reason I'm a StarCraft fan.
yeah, that's true. You came late to the party, and it was after. Did you say after that New Yorker article?
Exactly. Yeah, I came across that somehow on some other esports Reddit or something, and I read it, and I thought it was awesome, and I decided to watch a couple of games.
And then it began.
Yeah, I did not understand what I was seeing for the first several times, but I thought it was pretty fun.
That's the story of anyone starting StarCraft.
Supply baffled me.
Yeah, I imagine they're just it can be a very intimidating game to start into because like there are just so many concepts you have to grab from the very beginning, and it's not like you can just sort of like there's some games where you can just like be like, okay, just ignore this part for now. You don't need to worry about that, but you kind of need to get the whole picture of StarCraft. Like, not all of the intricacies, but you need to. There's so many different things you need to learn from the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. What I would say though, just going back to the how we started this little conversation, I would say that it's inherently enjoyable to watch Ling Bane Muta as a composition, even though specifically maybe burrowed banelings in themselves not all that entertaining. But I just love the idea of kind of fast weak units. It's kind of the ultimate Zerg composition, I would say.
That's true. That's true. That is very true. It looks like Hearthstone is hanging out again. Hearthstone just wants to see what's up.
Does he want to cast?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, I'm sure I'd be fine with getting him in here, but I actually don't have his Skype, so.
I just lost it. Darn. So we have our third map. There's a second. This is second map.
Yeah, second map.
Second map. The score is 1-0 to Miniraser, and spawning in the bottom right as the light pink Zerg, it is Miniraser.
And in the top left, our rival gaming player. In the green, the Terran, the Cuddlebear. The cuddliest of bears.
So returning to the topic earlier of username to race synergy.
Okay.
Cuddlebear, not a Terran name.
What race would this be?
I don't think it's any race. Maybe random.
Okay. I think out of any of the races, it would be Terran, though, right? Like, there's no teddy bear culture in the Protoss or Zerg race.
No, that's true. I mean, the Ursidon, I guess.
Of, at least.
Yeah.
Ursidon.
So, okay, Cuddlebear could be critters.
Okay, yeah.
Hopefully StarCraft 3 will have that race. So it looks like it's going to be Reapers again, coming out of Cuddlebear. I guess he's pretty happy with how it went last time and doesn't really feel urged to change it.
Mm-hmm.
King Jade on station is, again, a pretty decent one for the Reapers. There's one decent way into the Zerg's base on the right-hand side, as well as the ramps on the front for him to abuse.
It's a cool map because they did sort of put this in the pool at a point where Reapers were not really abusive, but they were feeling kind of strong. So this era when the map makers were like, well, you know what, you can get like three, 4 ways to get your Reaper, and we're not going to give you like 12. We're not going to have just cliffs everywhere. So you've got these very few distinct areas where you can defend it, but it's not completely like void of Reaper jump up cliffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was also sort of like due to the whole Blink Stalker versus Terran phenomenon, where map makers had to be very deliberate with how they designed these bases.
So Cuddlebear's going to stop at just one this time. He's going to switch over to a factory. Going to poke at these Zerglings. Might pick up a second one, indeed he does. Which is pretty neat, and also just a good scout for the Terran player.
Yeah, and I'd say, like, proportionally, compared to how much of a commitment this was, Cuddlebear has done a lot more damage with this Reaper opening than the last one. Which is weird to say, because it is only 2 Lings, but Miniraser really doesn't want to lose anything to the one Reaper. The Reaper expand into into factory opening. That's just not how you want to get this done. But of course, if he loses the Reaper, that's going to be a completely different story.
So the follow-up from Cuddlebear is going to be a starport and a tech lab factory. So he's moving up the tech a lot quicker than last time, I would say. He's going to probably exploit a medevac tank to try and put some pressure on the sort of the front edge of the natural of the Zerg player. But we have actually a pretty significant number of Lings making their way across the map here. Try and see what they can do.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty interesting move, considering that he is the one going for this quick third base. So taking the time to be aggressive and also, you're using aggression to defend your expansion, which I really like. I want to surround like a hot pickup on all of those Marines.
God damn! Somebody give that guy an achievement.
Exactly.
Yeah, the tank has just come out, which is going to probably scare those Zerglings away indeed, but still not a bad job for Miniraser with that early aggression. Just a little poke around, killed a couple of his SCVs, lifted the command center, and got a good look at what's going to be coming from the Terran for the next few minutes.
And he also really didn't really lose anything with it, right?
No,
all he lost was like the potential to make those into drones, but I think it was worth it for that damage you were talking about.
So the double Evo chambers are going down for Miniraser. He's going to try and tech up. The third base is under a bit of pressure, but I think there are enough queens and the Lings are coming home to try and fend away this little attack from the Marines and the medevac.
Maybe focus down that queen. Transfuse does go down though. He loses the medevac.
Nice snipe.
That is a very nice snipe, and this is the power of queens we've been seeing. That extra +1 anti-air range really helping out with that type of stuff.
Yeah, that range is really something. Like it didn't sound like much when I first heard about it, but I mean, just visually, even it looks like just such a long shot to take. Yeah,
and like I think the real thing about it is when you look at range, it's just like, okay, yeah, +1. Like what's the big deal? But when you consider that it's going from what 7? It was 7 to 8, I believe.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, 7 to 8. So like, what's that? Another like 15% or something.
Yeah, so we're seeing it.
Don't do math on screen.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. So we're seeing, as I thought we might, the tank medevac going to try and put some pressure on that front edge of the of the second base. Doesn't snipe off the extractor. Just got a couple of SCVs and halted the mining on that base for a moment, but I think because of really that snipe he did earlier, that attack really couldn't last too much longer. As we see, Miniraser's economy is just powering up. He's got 4 bases versus the 2 of the Terran. He's got a 20 worker lead. 30 supply lead. Yeah, this is really going very, very well. What we're not... Oh, okay, we have just seen the layer start about 20 seconds ago for the Zerg player. No upgrades just yet for Miniraser. Just 1-1 starting now.
So, bad news. We were just talking to ourselves for the past 2 minutes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, like we're on stream, but what happened was I accidentally had us still on the overlay, so not in game. So we had a good old radio cast going.
Radio's great.
Radio is pretty great.
I don't think Radio StarCraft is great.
Well, not yet, right? We just haven't established that type of culture, but radio sports are a thing.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Exactly. So this is your area. You should be
my home
way
turf.
better than me at this.
The great thing about sort of radio sports is that you just talk and talk. You don't have to go too in depth because you don't have time. You just have to explain everything from a complete non-information standpoint.
That's true. Yeah, so you really are doing play by play.
Yeah, completely. So we see another smaller second wave of aggression coming from Cuddlebear, but I mean, just his economy is so far behind. He's got 4 hives worth of Zerglings to try and push into. The creep spread is also pretty darn good, so he can see them coming from a fairly long way away. There's a second medevac over on the right hand side, but there's a decent smattering of Zerg army there to defend.
Yeah, Miniraser is all on top of this defense at the moment.
Totally, yeah. He's just managed to fend away the Terran aggression, but powering up that economy so much.
6 health left on that medevac. Sad to see it get away, but of course, great news for Cuddlebear. Losing that would really hurt the position that, like, really hurt the not great position that he was already in.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to see this game transition into the late game for the first time today. Interesting decision by Miniraser not to take the second gas in his main base.
Well, that is interesting. This still, yeah, completely full.
It's an option for later, I suppose. So Cuddlebear is going to try to push straight around the center yet again, but the Ling numbers are pretty significant. He's got 107 at the moment, and he's got Banes at the moment. Baneling speed is just a few seconds away. This is going to be shut down once he has his army in position, but actually the Lings are going to commit to a counter-attack.
Bunch of Banelings being morphed as well. Now there is a single Widowmine over here, but the Lings are just avoiding that Great Wall of Terran.
Yeah, it's a great split up of the Lings as they try to find damage wherever they can, so they're in the first 2 mineral lines and absolutely shredding everything. The worker number is really starting to go south for the Terran player. Down to 30 and even below at the moment, and the command center is lifted. The counter aggression, or sorry, the initial aggression really from the Terran players, getting a decent amount done, but the wave of Banelings and Lings is going to shut down the attack. And it looks like Miniraser is going to take a pretty unbeatable position in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough comeback from Cuddlebear. Similar to the last game where we're saying, gotta ask what can Cuddlebear do to come back, and if he does get one of those kill everything Widowmines, that could be it. The Miniraser has been really on top of his splitting.
Yeah, very fair GG there from Cuddlebear.